Sopranos often don't like each other, but luckily I got a really good one.
Yeah.
So
They're paying us a lot to sit this close. I'm Charlotte Siegel, and I'm playing Rose Morant in our straight scene.
And I'm Jessica Toupin, and I'm also playing Rose Morant. So it's an American opera by Kurt Weill with libretto by Langston Hughes, and it's inspired directly by Elmer Rice's play, Street Scene, which won a Pulitzer Prize a couple years before they made this. But it tells the story of a New York tenement building. 1940s, and the lives of immigrants, the tensions that arise in that kind of situation.
And it focuses on one family, the Morant family, and the ins and outs of their lives intersecting with the other neighbors as well.
I would say that Rose is pretty vital to the story. She actually doesn't come in for the first 40 minutes of the show, but when she does come in, she doesn't leave the stage. She shows us love and compassion in a storyline that becomes more and more difficult to watch. So she's a source of light.
And she's kind of the in-between, because this opera straddles musical theater and opera, and she has very operatic moments, but also very musical theater moments. And you see her being strong and vulnerable at the same time. So she's very important.
And to someone who hasn't heard of the show, doesn't know anything about it, how would you describe the whole feel of it? It's a bit of everything, really, isn't it?
Yeah, the show has something for everyone. It has big dance numbers, it has drama and tragedy, it has lovers fighting lovers that are actually in love, and a dog.
A live dog.
So there's something for everyone, for sure.
Good. So what's it like to sing the role?
Oh, it's amazing. It's a challenge emotionally, because she goes through so much so quickly. The whole thing takes place in 2 days. And she goes through having a hope of a beautiful future, and then her world is just turned upside down. And there's a whole long scene where she's just a mess for a really long time. So doing that and then being able to sing after is something that we're working on, for sure. So it's been a cool challenge.
And then there's also the component of dialogue, which as opera singers we don't do as much. So that's been really fun to kind of dig into the character in that way. And the singing, we get to sing operetta, we get to sing musical theater, and then we also get to sing in our opera world that we're most familiar with. So it's a really wonderful, diverse kind of experience.
And just tell me about her as a person.
Rose is vulnerable and strong. She spends a lot of the show searching for something and trying not to be exactly like her parents. And then at the end, she makes some pretty strong decisions, especially for the time being the 1940s. And so she's actually a very inspiring character, I find, to play.
I totally agree. I think that Rose has this strength to her that we're not used to seeing in the ingenue, especially in this time period. And she is comforting to everyone. She's trying to make the family dynamic work, but ultimately she chooses herself and her own dreams. And I think that's a really strong message, especially when there's so many influences of men around her. But it's her strength.
It's a great first opera if you've never seen one. There's laughs, crying, hopefully crying, if we do our job properly.
I also think when this came out, it was the first American opera, right up with Porgy and Bess. So I think it's a really special piece to have in the repertoire. It's not done very often, and it really does have something for everyone, even musically. So it's great for all audiences, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I think people will enjoy.
Absolutely.